India and Sri Lanka have signed a far-reaching defence cooperation deal following the talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. Both sides have signed 7 MOUs that include developing the Trincomalee as an energy hub and facilitating New Delhi's assistance to Sri Lanka's eastern region. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Dissanayake are also virtually inaugurated the Sampur Solar Power Project. The Sri Lankan President also honoured Prime Minister Modi with Sri Lanka's highest civilian award, the Mitra Vibhushana Medal. Narendra Modi dedicated the honour to all Indians and thanked the Sri Lankan President, saying that it shows the historical relationship and also the deep friendship between the two nations. Now, the Indian Prime Minister said that India will of course be exporting electricity to Sri Lanka.
आज राष्ट्रपति दिशानायक द्वारा श्रीलंका मित्र विभूषण से सम्मानित किया जाना मेरे लिए गौरव की बात है। यह सम्मान केवल मेरा सम्मान नहीं, बल्कि यह 140 करोड़ भारतीयों का सम्मान है। रक्षा सहयोग में संपन्न किए गए महत्वपूर्ण समझौते का हम स्वागत करते हैं। कोलंबो सिक्योरिटी कॉन्क्लेव और हिंद महासागर में सुरक्षा सहयोग पर भी मिलकर काम करने के लिए हम सहमत हैं।
Now, Dissanayake in fact thanked the Indian Prime Minister for India's economic support to the island nation, adding that the two leaders will inaugurate some projects tomorrow. He further assured that the Lankan soil would not be allowed for any activity that will cause regional instability.
And we also discussed in detail about furthering our collaboration in the already excellent defence cooperation between the two countries. I reaffirmed Sri Lanka's stance that it will not permit its territory to be used in any manner inimical to the security of India as well as towards regional stability.
Now, apart from trade deals, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also emphasized the deep historical and spiritual ties between India and Sri Lanka and agreed to assist in the renovation of the Tirukonasevaram temple in Trincomalee. On Sunday, the Indian Prime Minister is set to visit the historic Jayashri Mahabodhi temple. During the visit, he'll be unveiling a plaque at the temple's platform. Following this, the Indian Prime Minister will also flag off a special train at the Anuradhapura railway station. Now, after the ceremonies, he'll then be boarding a plane and will land straight in Tamil Nadu. As part of his itinerary, the Indian Prime Minister will also be inaugurating the newly constructed Pamban Bridge in Rameshwaram on the 6th of April. The inauguration will take place on the auspicious occasion of Ram Navami. The 2.078 kilometer long Pamban Bridge, which will be inaugurated, is set to replace the aging Pamban Bridge that was closed in 2022 due to concerns over corrosion. Now, built at a cost of about 535 crores by the Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, the new structure promises to significantly enhance rail connectivity between the Indian mainland and the Rameshwaram island. Narendra Modi is in fact the first global leader to be hosted by the Sri Lankan President after he took office in September last year. Now, President Dissanayake visited New Delhi in December last year, marking his first state visit abroad. All right, now to give us more details on this, we joined this broadcast by our correspondent Dasuni Athara, who has been tracking the story very closely for us from Colombo. Dasuni, this has been a very significant visit. A total of 7 MOUs have been signed. Tell us more.
Absolutely. Well, the 7 MOUs are focused on the areas of energy, power, security, defense, agriculture, as well as education, all very key areas in terms of bolstering and fostering ties between India and Sri Lanka. Now, earlier on, we did see President Dissanayake honoring Prime Minister Modi with an all-important award for his service, for extending his help towards Sri Lanka during the country's time of need. So this goes to show that this so far has been an extremely successful bilateral meeting between the two countries, and we are also expecting the arrival of Prime Minister Modi in a premise that is close right there. I understand as of right now that he is expected to play a floral wreath at a statue that commemorates the IP pair.
Indeed, and also, the agreements that have been signed in various aspects, this brings India and Sri Lanka much closer. The earlier governments in Sri Lanka had been, aligned more towards China, but under this Naik, it appears that he wanted to have very close relationships with India.
Absolutely. All the MOUs that were signed clearly show indication that Sri Lanka is steering towards having stronger partnerships with India, especially when you look at all the MOUs that were signed. They are in big sectors such as power and energy, digitization, and even defense. And during his address, President Dissanayake reiterated that Sri Lankan soil will not be used in any shape or form in a way that creates regional instability, which can be sort of paraphrased and translated in a way to show that President Dissanayake is favoring partnering up with India, as opposed to what some previous governments have done, favoring or turning up to China in the past.
Interesting. Thank you very much indeed, Dasuni Thara, for joining us with all those details there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.